On this episode of the Musk and Hustle Show, we talk about the reviews of number 126. Really, that much? I don't know what Armani Code smells like. Why 5 to 10 and 30 to 60? Plus, another giveaway, so stick around, ladies. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 3 of the Musk and Hustle Show and update number 3 of our fall 2017 Kickstarter campaign. So let's get right into it. Down below on this one, we're going to do this for the first time. If you want to skip around through this video, you don't want to watch the whole thing, down below we're going to try to link up different spots in the video so you can just click and go right to what you want to listen to. So let's get right into it though. Reviews of number 126. So last update, I sent out number 126, number 116, and number 257 to some of the backers, and they tested them out. So Nathan, the Unicorn Master, he actually did a video review. He linked that up below the video in the last update. So if you want to go check that out, you're more than welcome to go look at that. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. It was pretty interesting to sort of see his response as someone who was really unfamiliar with cologne to smelling 5 or 6 different colognes right in a row. So it was pretty interesting. So go check that out. Last update, linked below to his YouTube channel. So Jonathan Cruz was the next one who sent us some comments about his experience with them. So let me take a look here. So Jonathan Cruz says, here's my review of number 126 compared to 116 and 257. 116 was one of my favorites from the last campaign. It's spicy but has a fresh citrus scent. 257 is new to me, but I like it a lot too. A lot of similar notes. So he goes on to say 126 seems to have a lighter, less woody scent than the other two. I'm assuming he means that 257 and 126 are very similar, because 257 and 126 are very much more similar than 257 and 116. He says it's got a very clean, referring to 126, it's got a very clean, fresh out of the shower scent to it. It's not as strong as the others, so you're not as in danger of putting too much on. My wife also really likes this one. She says it's like you're wearing cologne, but you're not wearing cologne. And he says, I think this will go into my daily rotation. So that's the big thing I want to hit on number 126 that I don't know that I covered very well. You can't offend with this one. It's really, really good at not being too strong. You could pretty much bathe in this. So it makes it a great office scent. Again, you can really go upscale with it in a tuxedo or go casual, but upscale casual, not backyard barbecue casual. So got some really good reviews on number 126. This is one that I would probably, I mean, if you want to go with a really classy sort of a fragrance, this isn't like what you remember your dad wearing, the Old Spice, that sort of a smell. This is a very, very classy, elegant sort of a smell. So the next thing that I want to talk about is another couple of questions that I got from another backer. This one was from Matt, and he says, so I have some questions for you. Obviously, in your video, you demonstrate how to put on your colognes. When I saw it, I was like, that much? So when I showed you guys how I sort of put on my colognes, that was sort of everywhere that I put them on. That's not what I do every single day with every single fragrance. That's just, if I'm going to put it on, those are the areas that I put it on. But if I'm using one like 105 that's really, really strong, I won't put it on all of those areas, and I won't put a lot. If I do put it on all those areas, I won't put on a lot. I'll just put on a little bit. If I'm using number 243 or number 126, I will put on a little bit more, and I will probably put it on all those areas. So it completely depends on which fragrance you're using, where you're going, the circumstances, if you're going to be outside, if you're going to be inside, if the weather is cold, if the weather is warm. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more in some of the other updates with the different fragrances. We'll go into more detail about which ones are stronger, which ones are lighter, when, how to apply some of them. So, but that's just a little bit of an idea. No, you don't have to put them on all those areas, and you don't have to put a lot on all those areas. The next thing that he said is, on your page you say, for example, that number 20 smells like Armani Code, but I don't know how that smells, so that chart doesn't help me. So you're right. If you're not familiar with some of the fragrances that we list in the campaign next to the numbers of our versions of them, it's not going to help you a lot. So I'm either going to post an update just below this one or just above it. You'll get notified about both these updates. But in the other update, it's just going to be a list of these 24 fragrances that are in this campaign and more information about them. A little bit of a description about sort of a definition of the fragrance, meaning day or night, temperature, season, and then a little bit more of an explanation, a little bit more of a wordy explanation about how the fragrance smells, maybe what inspired the fragrance. So look for that update if you want more information on the fragrances specifically. And I'm sure I'll refer to that more throughout the campaign. And I may actually link that up in the campaign itself so that it's right there for everybody to see and not have to go to an update. I haven't decided on that for sure yet. The next question I got was, again, from Matt, I believe. Yep. And he says, so why is there so much range in the number of days that a stubby will last and how many days a pen will last? And the reason for that is because fragrances vary widely in how strong they are and how long they'll last. So again, I keep using number 105, but it's one of the stronger. It's got leather, it's got some really strong wood scents in it. It's got that in the description you find in the update below or above this one. It's got kind of a gas, sort of a petrol smell to it that's really, really strong. And it's a great fragrance, but it is really, really strong. So a stubby of number 105 could last you a couple of weeks. It could even last you 3 weeks, where a stubby of number 243 could last you 4 or 5 days if you wanted to smell strong of number 243. Same with a pen. A pen of number 105 could last you a year easily, and a pen of number 243 could last you 25 or 30 days. So it really just depends on how you're wearing the fragrances and whether it's hot weather, cold weather, and how strong you want to smell. But again, guys, please don't offend. The key is go less more than you go more. It's better to wonder, can people smell me, than to walk into a room and be like, oh, I don't want to get too close because they might be offended. So always be careful that way. And finally, as the last thing on this update, I want to do another giveaway. And on the last update, I had a couple of the ladies comment and say, hey, if you want a woman's perspective, we'd love to test out some fragrances and tell you what we think about them. So I think it's a great idea. If you're a lady and you've backed us or you're following us or you've just stopped by and you're checking out this update, comment down below and say, hey, I'd love to check out some of the fragrances. I've got 6 here from this campaign that I know are favorites of the ladies. So these are the ones that I'm going to send out for sure. And I may send out a couple from the last campaign that I know are just killer. So comment below and you're going to get to try out some fragrances. Please, if you comment below and you receive the fragrances, I just love to get really good detailed descriptions of what you thought about them when you got them. So please be prepared to write me and tell me what you think about them. And until the next episode, because that's all I've got for this one, stay musky, my friends.